Hi, this recording is being made at Dream Chasers, a training center in Chennai, India. We can be reached at 99414-36511. Our website is www.dreamchasersindia.com. Today we are going to discuss commonly asked HR interview questions and how to answer them. This session is targeted at freshers who are possibly attending their first interview or the first few interviews. So please be there on time. Any HR interview would already have been scheduled. So please be there at least 10 to 15 minutes ahead of time so that you can avoid last minute stress. Please make sure you are formally dressed. Have a good pair of socks and shoes. Buy a good file. Make sure all your certificates are arranged in the file. The best certificates have to be arranged in the front, and the average ones could be bunched together at the end. Have multiple copies of your resume. So if you are having a 3 or a 4 member panel, you can give one resume to each of them. Preferably have a friend accompany you so that you could just talk and relax to the person before you enter the interview room. If by some chance you are late, please apologize to them when you enter and then start your interview. So knock on the door. Once the interviewers ask you to get in, please enter the room. Walk confidently. You should have arranged all your certificates in a proper file. You should be having your file in your hand. Walk confidently, shake the hands of all the people firmly. Do not just shake the hand of the person sitting at the center. Some people, they start with a firm handshake, but after they give a firm handshake to the first person, they actually make it light, and in the second and third person, they hardly give a firm handshake. A firm handshake is very important because it signifies your confidence level also. Once they ask you to sit, please sit comfortably. Do not shake your legs. Do not fidget with your pen. Please make sure that you maintain a confident body language. Maintain eye contact with every HR in the room. If someone asks you a question, you can start by looking at that person, but you should also look at the other people. It should not be that you just look at the person at the center and ignore the others. Similarly, please make sure that you don't look at the walls or somewhere else, especially when you get very stressed out. If you get stressed out in the interview, just ask for some water, drink the water calmly, and then answer the questions. Similarly, if you want to explain something by drawing, please ask for a pen and a paper. Do not hesitate. You can possibly explain your project better with some diagram if you feel so. So don't hesitate to ask for a paper and a pencil. There will be a certain amount of pressure. Don't let it get to you too much. A certain amount of pressure is okay, but some people just keep thinking that it will be a stress interview because someone earlier comes out and tells that it was a stress interview. Don't go in with that assumption. Just understand that a certain amount of pressure is normal, and once you know that it is normal, you don't have to feel very too tense about it. Open the file, take your resume or multiple copies of your resume and give one to each person. So in the interview, whenever you are tense, just understand that it is normal, because a lot of people underperform in the interview mainly because of this tension. So relax. This is just a discussion. In 15 minutes, nobody can tell whether you will become extremely successful or not. They are also trying to find good people. So there is no need to get too tense. So confidence is very important when you are attending the HR interview. So now we will look at the commonly asked questions in the HR interview. Tell me about yourself. Now this is one of the most commonly asked questions. Generally this is the first question that is asked. So there are few things that you should definitely mention. First, you can start off with your name. My name is this. Then you can talk about your schooling and college. So you could say something like, I finished my schooling at this particular school, or I did my schooling at this particular school. I secured this percentage in 10th. I secured this percentage in 12th. I am currently doing my final year ECE or EEE or computer science in this particular college. Then talk about your parents. My father's name is this, he is a. My mother's name is this, she is a. I have two brothers or one brother sister or so, something of that sort. What are they doing? Just mention that. Don't go too much into detail. Talk about your strengths. Talk about your achievements. Talk about your hobbies and interests. Do not talk about your weakness. This is like an advertisement. Unless they specifically ask you, do not talk about your weakness. Talk about your projects done and extracurricular activities. Do not think that since you have already mentioned in the resume, you need not tell it. You have to mention it. Not everyone will go through your resume in detail. So you have to mention your strengths, achievements, extracurricular activities, co-curricular activities, etc. Then mention anything that is special to you. If you have won any particular award, if you have got multiple prizes or won paper presentations or something of that sort, you could definitely mention. Any national level achievement, state level achievement will be a very valuable thing. If you got centum or 199, 198 or 98, 99% in your 10th or 12th in any particular subject, please mention it, because they might not look at your individual subjects. Then you could possibly finish by saying, my role model is this particular person. Or you could finish by saying, I love puzzles or something of that sort, so that the interview goes on in that direction. Now, many students, after they finish, they just keep looking at the wall and they are not sure what to do, or they are not prepared well, and they just keep thinking, and after some time they say, that's all, sir. So don't do like that. When you are finishing, it should be clear that you have finished. You could use your talking style itself in such a way that it is clear that you have finished. When you are telling the answer, how you answer is also very important. So please make sure you practice this with your friends. Make sure you raise the voice at certain levels slightly, reduce the voice at certain level. The intonation is very crucial. You must emphasize certain things, so you must practice the answers, attend mock interviews before you go for the interview. So this particular question, since they are asking you this, since they ask this question regularly, please make sure you prepare this properly. Preferably, the time limit should be around 2 minutes. But it need not be so. If you have something more to tell, you could possibly take it to 3 minutes or something of that sort. Now, this is the general way in which you tell, but you could always prepare an answer which is really impressive, because this is a question that you have been expecting. So if you can answer this question in such a way that it is different from the way everyone else answers, then it might help create an impression. So you could possibly start off something like, sir, if there was one word that would describe me, that would be passion. I'm a passionate guy and I do all my work with utmost sincerity. My name is this, and so on. You could possibly start slightly differently. You could add idioms and phrases that would make your answer look good. So, I have just told you what are the things that you must mention, and just an example of how you can be different. You must decide how you could answer this question so that it is impressive. So always try to be different from others, but in a very impressive way. So it should not be childish, it should be impressive. So try it out with your friends, ask them if that is very nice or so on. Talk to your mentors, tell them this is what I am preparing, and practice with them. In fact, what you should do is you should maintain a notebook where you write the question and the answers, so that you don't miss out on any particular point. Rehearse it, possibly record it and listen to it so that you can identify the flaws. So impressive answering is very important. So a different answer, mentioning the same facts but in an impressive way, is what would differentiate you. What are your strengths and weakness, or strengths and weaknesses? So here what you should do is you should take a paper to your friends who are close to you and who are your real well-wishers. Ask them to write your strengths. Ask them to write your weaknesses. Many people will just delay it and say I will send it tomorrow and so on. Please make sure that you don't delay this. Take it to your close friends. Ask them to write 3 strengths. Okay, your strengths and why they are writing it. They might mention something that you have not thought. So they might say you are a very dependable person. Whenever I am sick, I know I can depend on you, or whenever I need help, I know I can depend on you. So you might not think of yourself that way, but your close friends might feel that way. Do not stop them when they are writing. Let them write what they want. Collect it from multiple friends. So you will be able to identify your strengths and weaknesses by asking 3 to 5 of your close friends to write for you. You could also do the same for them so that it is mutually beneficial. Now this way you will have a list of qualities that you could say and incidents that would support your strengths, because the next question is going to be, tell me an incident that shows your particular strengths. Now your strengths might be anything like friendliness, dependability, trustworthiness, flexibility, hardworking nature, creativity, or an ability to take initiatives, an ability to convince others. So any of the positive qualities might be there. So just go to your close friends, collect it. That is the first step. And then practice telling your strengths and weaknesses. Now, in weaknesses, don't tell things that are totally unacceptable. Don't tell things like I'm a very lazy person, I sleep a lot and I don't get up on time. Because unacceptable weaknesses will make sure that you're not selected. So always when you're talking about your weaknesses, please mention things that are your weaknesses but not extremely bad weaknesses. So you could say something like, I don't have very good public speaking skills. I have to still improve my communicative skills. Or you could say something like, I get angry a lot. Or you could say something like, I am not a very punctual person, but now I am working hard to make sure that I go on time to all my meetings and so on. So say things which are okay, reasonable weaknesses, not unacceptable weaknesses. If you are buying any product, say you are buying a soap powder or something like that, You will buy it only if it has certain strengths and acceptable weaknesses. Something which is unacceptable weakness would make sure that you don't buy it. It will ensure that you will not buy the product. So the same way, you make sure that you tell things which are only acceptable. Tell me an incident that proves your strength. So suppose you had told that your strength was taking an initiative, taking initiatives, then you could say something like, in my hostel, I organized a chess tournament, or I organized an online snooker tournament, or I started the culturals in my college, it was not there till we went, or I started a sports day or something of that sort, where you have taken that initiative. So you must have an incident which clearly proves that you have that particular quality. So for everything that you say in your strength, please make sure that you have an incident which you can tell, which will prove that you have that particular quality. So for this, you have to introspect. You must think about the most important moments of your life and how you behaved and what are the things you did in your school, in your college, and so on. Make a list of things so that you could portray the best part of yourself in the interview. So, what have you done to improve your weaknesses or your weakness? So, if you had told something like, I am a kind of person who gets angry over small things, now I am, then you could say something like, now I am working on controlling my anger. I am making sure that I count up to 10, or I am going for some meditation classes, or now I understood that I was at fault at many occasions, and that understanding has made me realize that I should control my anger, and so I am taking steps. The steps are something like meditation, or just developing empathy with other people, or as I said, counting up to 1 to 10 and so on. So you must clearly think about this particular question, because it will show that, one, you are the kind of person who has accepted that you have certain weaknesses, and you are doing something on it, not just accept it, but you are doing something, you are working on your weakness, and make sure that you are becoming a better person. So this recording is being made at Dream Chasers, a training center in Chennai, India. We can be reached at 9941436511. Our website is www.dreamchasersindia.com. We are continuing the question and answer session. Please look at our next video. Thank you.